somehow putting on headphones makes me feel like we're in the Comedy Zone now.
You know, and you know what else? It's once I said this to Rory Scovel, it is even better than hanging out in real life. You go, oh, we're trying to recreate what we do in real life. No, in real life, you're in my ears. It's very intimate.
No, in real life, we're all texting while we're talking to each other.
Well, there's that too. And we're not really trying to score. I mean, you might sort of be trying to score, but you're on your best comedic behavior.
You're listening to the Endless Honeymoon podcast.
That's right.
Wow.
We have Todd Glass here
That's
with
Todd
us.
Glass, the legendary. Do you know Todd, that you and I are the first two stand-up specials to be on Netflix? Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We were the first two.
You mean back like 10 years ago?
More than 10 years ago. It was the first one that you put on there.
Right.
It was so long ago that I remember my manager calling me in Montreal and saying, we have a buyer, it's Netflix. And I went, Netflix? Are you kidding? It's humiliating.
Oh my God! I have this. Oh, we're not the only two that probably have that story. Same exact thing with me. The specifics were Comedy Central wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, same. Same specifics.
Right. And I go, and Netflix. I mean, I was glad it got sold somewhere, but I wanted to be on a real. Okay, cut to my one after that. Please buy it.
I know.
And right away I noticed a difference. Like within 4 months, of course, because they're playing it.
Same.
And people that I didn't think were the people that liked me were coming up to me at the gym. I went. And I had an epiphany. I'm not just making it up in post. I went walking through the gym one day. I went, oh,
Netflix.
This is a good thing.
Todd, Natasha.
Well, I just want to say you are one of the funniest people.
That is true.
You're a legend.
Thank you.
You're always so silly and so funny.
Well, actually,
one of the funniest.
So silly to the degree that we were just in our upstairs in our living room. You got here a little early. I would say almost rudely early.
No, but hold.
No, he was very sweet about it.
I said, here's why I did that.
He was like, please.
You know why I did that? I do it every so often. I text basically something like, hey, 8:30 is still great, but I got here early, so I'm just having a cup of coffee, having a talk with my brother. So if you want me to come in early, that's great. If not, 8:30.
And we were putting our kid down, but
right.
then we heard you talking.
We heard. I go, is that Todd?
You
in the streets. And you're so specific a voice. Where you're like, yeah, that's
Were you
definitely
laughing
Todd.
hard?
Yes.
That was you.
Oh my God. Okay, forget about that part. So because I thought maybe in my head, I promise you, I thought this. What if they have their kids to bed early? They're like, we could start now. And it would have been like, oh, that's actually perfect. Come on in right now. So that's why I did it. But I also am in the car, like talking to family. So it's like, it works good for me either way. I use it as.
Now, Todd, you're hilarious. One of the best. Yeah, one of the best. Sure, we'll say
Thank
one of the
you.
best.
I'll take the compliment.
Not actually. You were in a Reddit public freakout. Is one of my favorite Reddit.
Todd was?
Yeah, but it was your video of when you say, "Are there any electricians?" Or
that was a bit.
You know fake.
What? I could take that bit down now. I'll tell you what. I don't like bits that fake anybody out. I know on TikTok it looks that way, but when I started doing those things, I did not think it was going to fake anybody out. To me, it was so over the top. It's sort of not a prank show in real life, but it's a prank in the comments.
I love it.
People don't know, and they go, but they figure out I'm a comic. But the pranking the other way, that one was, I did a bit in the audience, and I said, hey, if there's any, yell out any comments, and they yelled that, and I go, okay, we have aircraft. Whatever.
Right, though you go, tell me an occupation, and then they don't say the occupation that you go into.
So I go, whatever it was, I'm like, mechanic. And I asked one of the local comics, when I say that, go, nobody said mechanic. Stand up and like, you're the spokesperson for the room. I go, okay, mechanic. All right, let's start with the mechanic. He stands up. Hey, nobody said mechanic.
You're definitely going to wake up our kid.
Oh, shit.
It's okay.
No. Be you. Okay. Be yourself. Be yourself.
No, I can. There's two me's.
No.
There's a lower me.
No, don't. Bring it up.
So
I like it.
So one night, the guy was so good that was doing it in the audience. He was a local comedian and an improv guy. He was so good. In the middle of it, I went, he goes, go back to L.A., and it was so filled with venom. And I go, like, this is the bit, right? Like, he goes, yeah. He wasn't mad. He just was doing it so well.
He was fully locked in.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, wait, he's pretty good. But anyway, that story is available in my new book, Boring Stories to Get People to Leave Your House at the End of the Night. So that's not a real story. I know I felt bad. You thought that was a real story.
Wait, Todd, tell us about the event of a lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, look at you. By the way, are you seeing anybody? Oh,
she's
no, is it?
available. No, she's available. She is.
Oh, I
We're
hope I
married,
wasn't. Was that? Oh,
but she's available.
oh my God. I like that. We are married, but she is available, and so am I. But you know what I was going to do, because if someone mentions a bit, I'll do it. Before we started.
Oh, the mattress. Because the
mattress bit.
funniest thing in Todd's, he sent a video, the event of a lifetime. It's a special that you are putting together.
Yes, but I'll do the joke first.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Do the joke.
Well, you must
want
be
me
a
to.
radio DJ's dream. You'll do any joke anybody references.
Can I tell you why? Because when other comedians want me, like if I want another comedian to do his bit, I like when they do it. So it was really just my own modesty getting in the way. I didn't want to get caught like doing one of my bits. But I had all these new young guys sitting in on the podcast, and they wanted to call Gary Goldman and have him do the abbreviation bit.
It's a great bit.
Called him on the phone. Guess what? He did the whole bit for us like he was on stage.
Wow.
Interesting.
So-
I would never do that if you ever call me.
I-
Ever. I won't remember it.
well, that happens
If I do,
too.
I'll refuse.
Do the TLC bit.
No.
Just do it real quick.
No, but Todd, will you do? Because we sell mattresses
So,
on this
do you?
podcast. We
Well, let
sell
me tell you
Helix
something.
Helix mattresses. In
Helix?
fact, yeah, they're a great mattress brand.
People, you know what?
We sleep on them every night.
The best thing you can do is figure out that a mattress is important. I used to have not a joke about a mattress, but a guy who sells mattresses, but he doesn't realize people don't sleep as much as he does. So he'd be like, and he goes, hey, you know what? People, you spend money on a mattress. People don't, you spend 18 hours a day sleeping. So you should be in a comfortable People are, the people buy them are like, well, anyway, that's the way. Hey, look, we sleep, it's a 24-hour day. We sleep 20 hours. So you should spend some money on a mattress. It's like, I don't think people sleep that much. But so the joke about the mattress was, and you know what? Like when I say I'm serious about it, I'm serious that it would probably be an amazing feeling that I'll never have because I don't think I'm ever going to do it. But I wanted to be environmentally on the kind side, so I even added, if your mattress, you're going to get a new mattress, and your old one is undonatable.
Oh, you wanted to make sure people didn't come after you.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You're gonna piss all over the mat. By the way, probably my own self-conscious, which I was fine with saying that. It doesn't hurt the bit. So on stage, I'll go, hey, it's undonatable. So you know your mattress is coming Thursday. I mean, the thing about this, it's worth really thinking about because it's not an absurdity that has to happen. But you go, you could do that, and you could if you really stop and go, what would that feel like? Wake up Thursday morning, you're like, oh, I'm getting my mattress today, and you remember. And you just go, here we go. And it's probably hard at first to get the valve open because that's not a place it's used to being allowed to be open. But once it starts, you got to be like, that's luxury.
Wait, Todd, you haven't done the punchline.
What that was?
You forgot pissing.
Oh, pissing. I didn't say that yet?
You missed the most important part of the bit.
Well, see, Gary Goldman, oh my God, thank you, Moshe.
It was a valve.
You have a one-time opportunity to pee in bed. You're
Oh,
right.
yes.
Why not just shit too?
Oh, yeah.
That's my next part of the joke because I swear because I don't know how to get out of it. By the way, for people listening, I think you put it together now. If you have a once in a lifetime opportunity to pee in bed.
Yeah.
If you're already,
and by the way, at the event of a lifetime, you do all the jokes with the punchlines in the right place.
I do all the punch
Yeah.
in the right place. And the joke I say after that, I go, but because the band's playing and it's swelling up. I go, all right, enough. I go, you can't do that. But next thing you know, you're taking a shit on your couch. All right, let's move on. I just get to something else.
I love the idea that you put the qualifier in there with the off chance that someone in the audience stands up and is like, now hold on a minute. You pee in a perfectly good mattress that could have gone to a poor family in need?
By the way, that's me, nobody else.
Yeah.
That's me thinking, well, you'd be trying to find a loophole in the silliness. So I'm like, aha, if it's undonatable.
So
Either way, who cares?
Either way, piss
I mean,
away.
you're obviously kidding.
you want to know a bad fact about
Maybe
mattresses?
you're not though.
I know, that's my problem.
Want to know a bad fact about mattresses? This is real. This is grosser than your bit, by the way.
How long? What happens the longer you've had them?
Yeah, basically, when the mattress people come, because the same people come to pick them up that drop them off. It's a mattress person.
Mm-hmm.
They say that the mattress is twice as heavy when they take the old one away than when they put the new one down.
Ew, from
twice as heavy
jizz?
from jizz. Yeah, from jizz. You get a once in a lifetime opportunity to pee in it, but you've been jizzing in it for many years.
I like it. There's so many things that you can go, well, must be jizz. Oh my God, double its weight in jizz.
That's a lot of jizz. No, it's from skin and
Ew.
dirt and just the gross
pieces of skin that makes so much.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I guess you put it. What about a mattress cover?
That is a good idea, I would say.
Oof. By the way, I used to have a joke with the word jizz in it, and I didn't like the saying the word jizz.
Yeah.
I mean, so I changed, but it was, you know, when you go to a hotel and they go, a towel on the floor means I want a new one. A towel hanging up means I'll use it again. I would call down to the front desk, what's a washcloth on my night table with jizz all over me? She goes, sir, it means you're lonely. This is not, you know. Anyway, so I changed it to what's a washcloth on the night table with a bottle of lotion mean?
Yeah,
anyway,
that works.
jizz is better.
You know what I don't like? Speaking of lotion, hotels, jerking off jizz.
Ooh.
I don't like when I get to a hotel. You're not going to relate to this, honey.
Hotels are fucking gross.
I don't like when I get to a
They're
hotel
like sneezing in the bed, like ugh.
and they got that bottle of lotion and it's got like menthol in the lotion. I'm like, what do you think this lotion is for? Do you think people are getting a brisk moisturizing going on in the morning? Where it's purely for masturbation.
You don't bring your own jerk off cream to the hotel?
When I forget, sometimes I'll go to the drugstore actually and buy it.
Like Vaseline or something?
Yeah, I'll get a Carmex because I'm on the road.
Ugh.
I use 10W40. No, I didn't. I don't use. But what you said about the hotels being gross, I love this. I love this subject. That there is a hotel in Vancouver. I forget the name of it. More hotels are doing it, but it's such a way to get rid of a lot of disease. It's a disease festival. And every hotel should do it. No carpeting. If you're a hotel that really, let's not even compare it to bad hotels. Let's say a hotel where they're really cleaning the room. So I go into the room, no carpeting,
gross.
and I go, oh my God, that's a lot of disease. Yes, someone else has been in the room. We get it. The sofa was wipeable, not a cloth. And I looked around the room. I'm like, everything in this room, now that the carpeting is gone, it's just a disease festival. Why are people in the hotel industry having a more difficult time than us sitting here and going, yeah, get rid of the fucking carpeting. And also the not putting the blanket, I'm going to say this in every podcast till I get a call from a hotel, not putting the blanket in between two sheets is not acceptable. It's not okay. I'm not overreacting. It doesn't matter if people watching go, oh, is that what they do? If you're in the hotel business, one of the things that should have been covered at a meeting was, we know we can't wash the comforters they don't wash the
So they just wash the two sheets?
We get it. They can't do that. So I'm saying I'll accept that. I get the monstrosity of a bill that would be. But if you're in the hotel business, could you just put it in a duvet and zip it shut? That way I know what touches my face is Clorox. They're indirectly saying, I don't care if they say it like that, yeah, we're in the hotel business, and so what if your blanket slips out that has cum and jizz all over it, and ash and shit, and hits your face a little? Oh, who are you? Because obviously that's the way they feel. Or it would be it's not even a fancy hotel, but the DoubleTree is zipped in there, zip in there, and there's a little pillow on, because I wouldn't want if somebody goes,
especially from the DoubleTree.
Especially from the DoubleTree, all those cookies.
They got
and by the
cookies.
way, that's what I use to masturbate.
Oh, cookie oil?
No.
You're a real cookie monster.
I am a cookie monster.
Yeah.
And when I eat the cookies, they don't end up all over the floor.
I have
like
some bad news
monster.
for you.
Yeah.
Carpet's there to absorb sound above you. People
but
walking.
he's saying it also doesn't absorb disease when it's a hardwood floor. So who cares?
Yeah, you make a choice. Obviously, the hotels that are doing the hardwood floors, the laminate, they're not going out of business. You know, they're not going out of business.
Like maybe a cushioned laminate.
Right.
Okay.
So, Todd, you are, as we've established, a great comedian, and you always have had an act that's a little bit loungy, but like you have something new that's kind of taking that to a conceptual next level. The event of a lifetime.
Thank you. I'm going to calm down a little.
No, do more bits.
I don't.
But we want to talk about it because it seems so cool. I mean, it honestly
I
seems.
love the band.
So here, I will give you. Obviously, I've tried to condense this and sort of throw people to this crowdsource. And here's what I will say. Thank you for watching it.
I watched it too.
Thank you for watching it.
You didn't make eye
also.
contact with me when you said it.
Let me say, can you edit that out? And I'll pass by her. Let me just really hold on. Hey, by the way, thank you for watching.
My pleasure, Tom.
I appreciate it.
Netflix bros.
And did you like that? I just sort of.
That was great.
My acting wasn't that good.
It was good.
So I'll bypass. I've talked about comedy and what clubs should be and all that for so long, and this is sort of like a what's the word? Manifestation.
Manifestation.
Yes, of that, and it's sort of. If I thought, what really does it encompass? It's a stand-up comedy show. The guts of it, it's a stand-up comedy show. But I took what I already did to another level. I already knew that there were a lot of missed opportunities to create an atmosphere at a comedy, even at a comedy club. The music you play. but I've talked about this a million times, but I'm just saying it's already been, for an hour. Some people are being seated for an hour. I go into a club, we lower the lights. It substantially changes it, not a little. I already do that. Pick the music. Sometimes I have a 2-piece band playing out. Even in a club, they walk into a dark, swanky room. There's a 2-piece playing. So that was already given.
Cool.
So I thought, what are other missed opportunities? Just take a show.
Well, you would do that on the road, you're saying? Is lower the lights and have a little band?
Yes, I've already been doing that.
Where do you? How does the band? Is it local?
Sometimes I have one guy that I was bringing with me. And this is sort of what it leads up to why I want to do the show. And I would train 2 people, so I'd always make it work. I'd get in a night early. But this show, I have the same band. And it's like, so it's the
Todd Glass Orchestra?
The Todd Glass Band. The Todd Glass Band. And so I have a saxophone. So I took it to another level. I go, what is every missed opportunity to turn just a stand-up show into more of a production? So I have a saxophone player, as you saw in the video, playing in the street before the doors even open. So if you were walking there that night, not in a bullshit way, like, oh, the entertainment starts, the whole city block is different. With one saxophone player, you change a city block completely different.
That's why they invented the instrument.
That's why they invented this instrument.
To change the air on the sidewalks of Paris.
And trumpets.
That's right.
I
and
love
trumpets.
horns.
Let me tell you something. We'll get to that. So as people are being seated, a lot of times it's an hour. I have a keyboard and drums playing, swinging, not just dilly-dallying up there. And then after the show, if I can have an ice cream truck or something like that, I travel. I'll have an ice cream truck pull up. If we can't get an ice cream truck, we'll have like hot chocolate and cookies, just something out there cool.
Free?
Yes.
And do you sit there and socialize with
I
everybody?
don't come out right away, but the band goes right out too. I mean, they're like the hardest working band. Like they go out there, boom, and they're playing as the ice cream truck's there. I kind of like 20 minutes later. I come out. I like hanging out. You meet nice people. And so I really have worked, even this last year, and we're getting to the point, and then I'm almost done. In the last year, I even traveled without the band to make sure my stand-up was tight as possible. I've really worked. This is a very, very well-oiled machine. And, if I can have a moment of confidence, it's something to see.
Cool.
It's a stand-up fucking comedy show. If you're craving stand-up, you get it. But the production around it, I mean, just the opening song. I mean, those guys shredded. They do their opening song.
Awesome.
But you're also doing bits with the band and with the audience. Like it's a holistic
He's doing
experience.
stand-up.
It's more than even stand-up,
No,
right?
it's about like 75% stand-up, and then you're right. There's bits with the band. So the reason I started the crowdsource was because I thought, and I really mean this from my gut, the only thing that could go wrong with this show is to not have the proper funding. And it's a lot. It's not what I thought it was. Like when a play opens up in New York, right away, the head number in everybody's head went, oh, it's a lot more than I thought. So, because otherwise I think it's a waste. So a lot of it is the money for production. Most of the money is, it's $40,000. To have anyone that can do anything to
film it.
To have the right publicity to promote it,
and to bring all those people out and to get
that's different. No, it's we're trying to get a lot more than that. I'm saying 40 is just for the PR.
Yeah.
And if and I'm not saying like if someone out there might have spent 20 and went, well, we got 20 and we got someone good. We spent 10. That's not my point. For something like this, I've done this my whole life. I'm ready. I don't want to have $10,000. I want to turn it into something, and I know that's the price we need.
So currently you're doing a crowdsource for bringing it to New York, yeah?
I did a crowdsource to get the money for the production, shooting it, bringing the band out with me, so that's what it is. It's over at Spark and Seed and Spark, who have been really nice. And, it's self-explanatory over there. The date of what?
Oh,
when are you going?
Oh, we don't have a date.
Because you're still raising the money.
We're still raising the money.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
Because it is very expensive, and what if you did the show but without like the band and all that other stuff? You just did like a comedy club instead.
That's a great idea.
I mean, it would be so much cheaper.
Oh my God!
No publicity, no music,
no donut truck.
Don't make it
trucks.
Don't make it like a special thing.
Just
make it like regular and like more boring.
I really like that idea.
Well, you don't even have to crowdsource.
You don't even have to crowdsource.
Moshe.
You get a guarantee from like an improv.
Oh my God. I like the guy who's so dumb. The guy, he goes, this guy's smart. So there we go. By the way, one more quick thing, and then we can just, my goal is once I have the money, I'm saying this for a reason. Once I have the money, I didn't want to go to my comedian friends for money, of course. But once I have the funding, then I will go to some of my comedian friends that have bigger audiences than me and ask to use their name. So my goal is instead of having like, Mike Birbiglia presents Alex Edelman or whoever it is, You can edit that in, put whatever you want in there.
Yeah.
To have like boom, 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 5 comedians present Todd Glass.
Oh, that's fun.
5. Who I don't want to list the names because then they're gonna go, oh my God, he's gonna be calling us. Once I have the money, once Todd has the money, he's calling us. And then, so if a benefactor pays for the whole thing, he gets to have his name with him. Now I can't do it with every name, but if one benefactor, that's the only.
Oh, you would downsize the 5 to 1 if Jerry Seinfeld paid for everything.
Oh, if he paid for everything, I'd downsize. I'd put his name and not mine.
Yeah.
But Jerry, no, I would put. Someone asked me if one person paid for it, like a comedian. That some of these guys have a ton of money.
Yeah.
And they just, I'm going to pay for the whole thing.
Bert Kreischer.
That's what. Bert's been the sweetest, by the way, which we'll talk about later. He's been very, very helpful.
He has a studio.
It's crazy.
No, I mean he has like a production studio.
Yes, he does. But if one person pays for it, I would put their name 90% and my name 20.
Oh, like a flyer for a festival that insults you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But by the way, that wouldn't be. But that's obviously I'm kidding. But if one person did pay for it, a benefactor, we would put their name with all the others. Some guy out there, that's not even a lot of money. He gets to have his name with like 5 really big comedians if he pays for this. Come on, we're the fucking benefactors.
You know what I like about this idea for your show is like the best case scenario as a stand-up is that somebody walks out of your show going, that guy was hilarious. But for your show, they're going to walk out going, that was an amazing night. Like that, and that's a different and better experience when that guy was hilarious.
Moshe's always trying to make me make my shows like that, and it's hard.
I love it because
I do too.
But you're on a different. That's a different level. Like the idea of you changing the psychic space of your audience before they even enter the venue is such a cool, interesting idea. Like when they get in, they're ready to party. It's like I've thought a lot about. I'm sure you have too. Like what makes a good crowd versus a bad crowd, and there's got to be. I never thought a saxophone, but that's got to be in the mix. Like it must make them ready to go.
I think it was like Gary Goldman said years ago, like everybody thinks they're getting a crowd ready. Now, look, there are comedians that I don't think this is true for.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying I don't think is true. I get it. It's just not there. But for most comedy that I could say, who are the comedians you like, whether it's all over the gambit, it's what everyone thinks they're getting them ready, but what do you think gets them ready? And Gary goes, it's calming them in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
Calming them, letting them talk if they're entering a club for an hour. Calming them down. Now, obviously, when you start the show, you can pick it up a little, but it doesn't have to be, I can't hear you, make some noise.
What I do is I'll have the club ask them how everybody's doing tonight, and then no matter how they're doing, then the guy I'll have him say, you can do better than that. Right. And then he'll ask them again.
And then we say, clap it up.
Yeah, clap it up.
Clap it.
For the great.
Clap it up. What are we, seals? Clap it up. I go, you can't say clap it up, please. But the one before, Philadelphia Helium. I asked the manager once, Jerry, years ago, I go, Jerry, when I'm not here, be honest. I won't. You do everything I like. I go, do you say like, come on, make noise? When I do it, he goes, how dare you? We're not a make noise club. And I went, I love you for saying that. Like it meant something to him. Like in there,
they know they have an integrity for that.
Yeah, we don't say make noise.
My favorite.
What are we, pigs?
My favorite moment is when
I don't mean pigs of nature. I mean make noise. That's a noise.
I love it when they say, how's everybody doing tonight? And they scream like really loud, like they're really doing great. And then they still say, you can do better than that. And they couldn't have done better than that. It was as good as they could have done.
So fake. It's so, anyway, I talk about that enough. But the crowdsource, what I mean is, I don't mean to be rude. Sometimes you have a thought in your head, but I learned calm down and say it. I talk about this stuff all the time because I thoroughly enjoy it. So when I go, all right, enough, it's not because I'm tired of it. It's because I'm paranoid that.
By the way,
does that make, Natasha, why'd you give me a look like that?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No.
Come over here.
I just have to say, I was at, to what you're talking about, I was at Comedy Club on State recently, and I've been there before, and it's always been great. But this time I went, and I was looking around for one thing they'd done wrong. I mean, okay, there is one thing. It's in Madison, and that requires it requires a stopover. But it was so, like, I kept looking for the flaw.
You could have fly to Chicago and driven an hour.
I could have done that. But it was like they had thought of literally every single thing that I could have wanted them to do. It was already done. And that felt so fucking good.
Well, as much as I'd love to hear you purists talk shop.
They don't do a check drop.
They don't do a check drop. They don't have food. And by the way, you know the best thing about those clubs that are the best clubs the word isn't okay. Of course, they don't make any money, but at least no, they make a lot of money doing it right. I think you would think it costs more because you make less. Yeah, you could do it right, but you're not going to make as much. You end up making more. But
I was
She was gonna
say,
shit on
I was
us.
gonna make fun of you guys and say we actually have a woman in the waiting room waiting
Nice.
Okay.
to ask advice
Good.
from you, Todd.
Thank you.
Do you feel like you have wisdom?
I try. I think I have some clean words of advice. I will put my heart into it and try my hardest.
Was your dad wise? I remember you told
My
me.
mom.
Oh,
My dad
okay.
was. They were both really cool people. But my mom, she had a lot of wisdom. She's great.
'Cause you told me something once that I always remember. You said that your dad said, if you don't ask someone to do something that you wouldn't do yourself. Is that you?
No, that's
I'm sorry.
That's
Your
simple.
dad.
Oh no! I'm sorry. It's different.
What is it?
It's how someone treats the lowest person on the totem pole.
Yeah,
they're very similar.
Yeah, no.
But you can't tell how someone treats like the star because they're gonna be nice to them.
Right. He goes, look, and I remember when he told me that a while later, I took it in. It was a girl that I knew wouldn't hold the door for any, like, a guy delivering soda or a person delivering soda. And I went, that's what he means.
That's what his real life personality is.
The girl, she just would shut the door, and that manifested in other areas too.
Yeah.
So how do they treat someone that they perceive can't do anything for them?
Yes.
Your dad also, you told me, said that the Croatians are the worst of the European people, and that I thought was very wise.
Wait,
He did
like
say
this
that.
is so sad.
Oh,
This is our lifetime.
no, it's not. I was hoping your daughter was up. We got
Bluey
someone.
just came on.
We
What?
got someone. I wanted to go with the flow. Someone's waiting for advice. I don't want to be rude.
Okay, but before we do go to our first caller, Todd, you said that it isn't more expensive, isn't more difficult to do it right. But in your case, you are doing it as right as anyone has ever done with the event of a lifetime, and it is expensive, and you can go now and give to Todd's. What is the website?
It's called Seed and Spark, but I thought it's easier. My website is toddglass.com, and that'll take you right over to there.
So you guys who are listening are fans of comedy, and I would assume fans of Todd as well. But if you're a new fan even, you can support an artistic endeavor and a really cool experiment in the stand-up comedy milieu, which I'm excited for that.
Thank you. And I'll go one more thing here. Just, I don't know why this is important to me, but it shows like I really tried to exhaust every ounce of where we could, take advantage of having their ear. And I asked my friend, I go, what's one area we're not thinking of? She goes, when they go home and eat their cookies, you could make a playlist. I'm like,
Oh, that's cool.
so I did. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? You made the cookies made at home. And these two people messaged me on Instagram. It's like 12:30 at night. They go, Todd, our cookies made at home. I didn't have the I didn't have the playlist for them yet, but now I'm going to make
What
that.
kind of
it's
songs are on the playlist?
It's going to be, I haven't done it yet. We just came up with the
okay.
idea. But talk about taking it to the very end. They're home. They have your hot chocolate. They add their water at home. They have the cookies. And then you have a playlist. And, of course, I'll come on. I'll be like, hey, let's lower the lights.
Oh, that's cool.
I know it seems crazy, but come
I love
on.
how involved you are. Okay, well, you know what?
Here we go.
You're a great performer. You treat your audiences right.
And you even treat the lady with soda. Right. That's what we love about you. We're going to call Margaret in Hamilton, Ontario.
Wow.
Ooh, the city of the
International.
wooden floors.
Right?
Wait, where did you say they do that?
Vancouver.
Vancouver. Okay.
I was agreeable, though.
It's the right country, honey.
Let me tell you something. Both of you, I look into your yard. I'm not kidding. You fucking get it. I mean, it's the lighting. I'm telling you, people are sick in their head.
Yeah. Hey, Margaret, it's Natasha Leggero, Moshe Kasher, and our friend Todd Glass.
Oh my God. Todd, I feel like every time I hear you talk, you're talking about lighting.
Oh,
Wow,
no,
that's
see,
crazy. He was talking about that.
But I agree with you. And
I know, I
said,
heard.
Wait, have you been on the whole time?
Just maybe a minute.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
By the way, that's
I heard
shorter.
everything.
That's shorter than normal in my head. Like
How is our lighting? Or you feel like it's overbearing?
outside, it's amazing.
Oh, the lighting of the yard. Yeah, okay,
yeah.
I get it. Margaret, what's Hamilton, Ontario known for? What's your claim to fame?
Oh, I would say most
musical?
recently, Mark Maron dragged our city pretty hard.
Oh, it's known for Mark Maron not liking it?
Most recently, I would say.
What did
I
he
think
say? What
people-
was his most cutting joke?
Oh, it wasn't really a joke. He just sort of talked about how awful he thought it was. And then there was a major blowback in Hamilton. So I think there were t-shirts made, and It's kind of known for being like the Detroit of Ontario. I
Got
guess
it.
kind of
Oh.
gritty.
Got it.
Yeah.
What if people found out Mark Maron didn't like it and they all started moving there? They go, I want to move where he doesn't like it.
Mark does the opposite to his crowd. He just defends them.
Right.
And then
He's like, what's the way I can make this night worse for everybody?
Insult.
How can I make this night worse for the people of Hamilton, Ontario?
Mark is hilarious, though. You gotta love him.
Oh, yeah.
That's just who he is. He's.
Oh, yeah,
I definitely relate to him in being.
In not liking your town.
I like to. I'm very curmudgeonly in my heart.
By the way, sometimes when you
You're
see
not.
when you see a comedian make fun of the town they're in, some of the people that live there agree. So it's not
Uh-huh.
always
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, like. I
Well,
don't-
Oh
what,
no, we got it. We got it. But
what do
we
you
love
like?
it too.
What do you like in your heart? How can we help?
So I am very social. I like making new friends. Obviously, something that gets harder as you get older. So I'm currently maybe 3 years into a relationship with my current partner. He has a 8-year-old kid who lives with us half of the time. So I'm pretty new to kind of being in a sort of parent role a little bit. I'm sort of staunchly child-free. It's the whole parent thing seems a little bit too chaotic for me. But
Especially
so
when it's not your own kid and they already have their routine and
oh, totally, totally. And, boundaries around who the authority figure is and, my ideas about parenting, et cetera. But so my partner's kid has a really good friend who, they love doing the play dates and they get along really well. And we sort of feel like we are on the same wavelength as her parents. And I would really like to be friends with these parents, or at least see if, we can hang out socially, sort of the parents together, having adult time while the kids are playing, maybe a dinner or something like that. The issue is that this girl has an older brother. He's maybe 9 or 10. And this kid is, I don't think psychopathic would be too extreme of a word. He's really wild. And every time I've seen him, he's either been trying to strangle other kids.
just don't be
or
friends with that family.
Yeah, I'm already there. Yeah, it might be too much.
Really?
What? Because you feel a wavelength with the parents? You're like, I think I'll put me and this new stepchild in harm's way for this fucking
You can
arrow
also-
slinging
Okay.
killer.
You can also be friends with the mom and
No, you
not have to hang out
No,
with
you
the
can't.
kid.
That's hard. Can I ask you a question? So is the
Yeah.
kid have autism or anything? Is he on the spectrum at all?
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't really know enough about his situation.
Because it's not the kid. You're really saying what? Again, I just heard it's really you could say, well, I don't have a problem with the mom, but you do because you can't. It's not the kid's fault. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
You're saying it's the mom's fault the kid sucks?
Well, kids are difficult, and I know parents that are unbelievable parents, and sometimes they have a kid, they just having a little difficulty with them, but they talk about it. It's not like you have to go over and not say anything. It's acknowledged, like, hey, we're sorry. Is it acknowledged? Because if it's not acknowledged, that's the part that I couldn't.
Is it?
You like don't strangle
What do they
them?
say about the 9-year-old?
So it's interesting. I feel like they're maybe addressing it in their own way. So most weekends, the 9-year-old, the older kid, he's actually not at home because he's being sent to a farm to, I don't know, have.
Listen, he is a
either-
wild card. He's a wild card. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
don't know what he's capable of, so I feel like it has to be supervised play.
Yeah.
Oh no, totally. And we have pets, and I'm sort of, it seems really clear that there's like a good chance of some animal torture happening. And
What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean it seems really clear that there's some animal torture happening? Like what? There's fur?
This
What are
isn't
you
something that just like automatically.
the empty
I don't know.
tortoise shells? What are you seeing that's making it
No, you know that whole thing where they say, serial killers they started with
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
torturing
Yeah.
my animals. Yeah. I don't think a lot about animal torture, but
Wait, you're saying
I
you're
do
ju-
when I see this kid.
you're saying you get a vibe from him that he tortures animals?
Yeah, or definitely has it in him.
I
would
mean,
say.
what? Why do you want your stepchild around this person? How cool is the mom? Or is the dad? You like the
I
dad?
mean, you're starting to make me think maybe not that cool, but
Plus, I always hate to like go in, like we don't know the story. We don't know if this kid, like maybe his problems are caused by his parents. A lot of times they're not. I get it. You need to put that out there really clear. Sometimes kids have things that are not an outcome of their parents. But it's also important to remember, sometimes they are. So this kid that we're vilifying, who knows what's going on in his life and what they're doing. And you know, I hope he gets somewhere where he feels comfortable to talk. And if is he communicative at, like, in any level? Like when you walk in, hey, how you doing?
Does he speak like Latin or any kind of tongues?
I mean, he's going to a farm on the weekends, you guys.
Farm could be a funny way to say it, but a farm, I don't know. Wait, what is he? Does he talk to you at all?
No.
He never
He
says
basically
hello.
just screams at other children.
He doesn't.
No.
He doesn't greet you when you walk in the house. He doesn't say like, "Oh."
No.
What's the worst thing he's done that you know of?
He doesn't say
That
like,
I know of?
I can smell your womanly body from here or anything like that. Like that'd be kind of a fun area.
No, it's really focused on, he doesn't seem to pay attention to the other adults at all, or to adults at all. It's really focused on kids. There was, every time I've seen him, he's been, stomping on kids' fingers.
Here is why you're so generous with having your stepchild exposed to this person, because the stepchild's not your real child. Okay, it's not.
Okay.
You're saying she feels that her stepchild's a little more expendable if she could get closer to the mom?
It's some deeper level. I hear what you're saying, because and again, I don't want to come off like, I really do. I don't ever want my advice to come off as like accusatory, because it's the exact opposite. But if shedding light on it, where even you'll go, oh yeah, it sounds already from what we're hearing, this kid has serious problems. And that if she addressed it, for anybody that out there that has children that are like this, and it has nothing to do with the rules and the boundaries you set.
Or the job you did.
Or the job you did. In that case where that happens, I think they have to express it. And if she's not expressing this to you, you should be judging her, not her kid, to go, do you want to be friends with her? Like, why is she entering this type of chaos to the relationship? It's not because she has a child that is unruly. It's because she's not addressing it. That's scary to me.
Oh, so what about play dates when the kid's gone? When he's at the farm?
Oh, and that's what we've been doing pretty much, because
but he like
the idea of my stepkid like being around him totally freaks me out. And I've got to be honest, I think I'm actually more concerned than my partner is.
Maybe
about going over there.
Maya Angelou said, when people, now look, this could be wrong, but if it happens and a year swings by and you'll be like, fuck, that's what Todd Glass was saying. She goes, when people tell you who they are, believe them. Now, is she telling you who she is? You'll know in a year, like when she does something, they go, oh, that lines up with her never mentioning this about her kid. Like it's out there. Does that bother you that she doesn't mention it? Because that's what I mean. For some reason, I'm feeling like the kid's the only problem, but don't you feel like the mom, like, do you want to be friends with her?
So funny.
I mean, you're raising
Am I making any sense?
point.
No, you're making tons of sense. It's just funny. You just keep making. You just like it's like trying to scare you straight into being like, listen, this mom, it's her, it's her, it's her, it's her. It's a good question though. Does she ever? How does she admonish him when he stomps a child's finger or rips a sea tortoise in two?
Not at all.
Zero.
Not at all.
I don't like that.
It seems.
And I don't really like that kind of parenting.
Yeah.
I think where you're at. This is my vibe on this. That this kid is probably suffering, and obviously we have to have compassion for him. But compassion doesn't open a door for you taking personal risks.
Exactly.
It's like, and that's a risk. Whenever it is what Maya Angelou said. Like she also said, when you get a vibe that there's probably animal torture in the zone, don't hang out. Don't bring your 3-year-old by. But I just think when I get a bad vibe from someone, as the older I get, when there's a bad vibe, I'm like, I'm right. It's not me. I'm not paranoid. I'm not tripping. When I think someone's a pathological liar, they are. Like and when you feel like this might be like evil possibilities happening, there are. And you just should steer clear. I mean,
and you can also still invite her and the daughter over sometimes, or if it's a son, whoever it is, the cool ones, and just try to control it a little bit. And they don't have to become your best friends. You don't have to like completely ice them out, but you also don't have to ramp it up and initiate a lot.
Right.
I agree.
All right. Yeah. Did we help you, honey? Sorry you live in Hamilton.
Oh.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Yes. Thank you so much. Oh, this is so cool. Thank you.
But it's true. I mean, Todd's right. Like, you're getting a bad vibe. You're saying, oh, this person seems really cool and their wavelength is really cool.
Control your surroundings.
Yeah, there's a bad vibe going on. Why bother? Why sign up? I know you said you were social, but not at any cost.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's part of it, is that I'm kind of trying to figure out, okay, is it a good idea to be friends with the parents of your kids' friends?
Sometimes
Are there actually like more complications there?
No.
Situation by situation.
Well, yeah, it sounds like there's
there's like a psychopath in the house.
there's one complication, which is the boy sharpening his machete in his room. But with other parents, you probably won't experience that. That's what I would think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just keep like finding yourself in this new role, and maybe there's other people, like even a support system I've heard about for stepmoms, just to like, I'm sure there's challenges, and or even having one friend or two friends who are going through similar things, because there's many dynamics to juggle. And, Moshe's dad, his stepdad, he never got involved. And I always thought that was so interesting. But, Moshe really respects him now, and they're really good friends.
He never tried to pretend to be a parent to me, and I never wanted that from him. He was like a guide and a mentor when I needed it, but he was never an authority figure to me, and I wouldn't have accepted it from him.
And Moshe was a really bad kid.
I was the kid that other parents were like, let's not go over to that house anymore because he seems like a bad boy.
But, it's like, I think finding your truth in this type of parenting that you can like be beneficial to the relationship too, but not walking that balance of like not putting the kid in harm's way, but also not being the authority figure, but there if they need you for some reason.
Todd, final thoughts? Oh, he's leaving.
No, I'm putting a pillow. I felt like I was slouching. No, I thought we gave good advice. I feel like, but no, we have to move on. But like, you look like maybe you're not getting the advice you wanted.
No, she's good.
You're good.
No, I think it just, it's hard for me to trust, I guess, my instincts around these kind of things, because it is such a new situation for me, I think.
And I just feel bad for doing this, but I'm governed by the law. I had to call HR, and they're coming over. They have to take the 3-year-old out of your house.
Yeah, that's how.
So they're coming over.
That's how much of a parent Todd is. He thinks that CPS is HR, the Human Resources Department.
I was trying to think I was trying to think who would you report it to?
The Hamilton County Child Protective Service. No, but you're good. You're good. Just keep going. Keep going. You'll figure it out.
Okay. Bye.
Good luck.
Okay. Bye.
Great lighting.
Take care.
Yeah, I know. I like the backdrop. I was going to tell her that. She had a good, clean backdrop.
See, you had good advice.
Yeah.
That's fun. I think we all, don't you want to think you could give people like clean advice?
Yeah.
A sharp, clean.
Yeah, try to think like, what I went change the type of advice I would give people, where I went on my podcast and apologized. I imagine implementing it. I don't even have to tell you what the idea is. Just anything. Hey, do this the next time that happens at a family gathering. Say this. If I pictured it saying to one of my brothers. And I went, oh no, that's horrible advice. It doesn't work. In your fake world, it worked. Oh, and you'll say this. So I try to remember that when I'm giving out advice. Like, okay, would it work in my... Run it through the mill of imagining someone in your family, you correcting them on something.
Wait, Todd, how many brothers do you have?
I have 4 brothers, and we get along really well.
That's
all of them?
It is. It's... We even... My brother...
I heard you laughing with them outside of my house today.
Are they funny?
They are funny, and we get along greater as we always got along pretty well, but definitely get along even better and better as the years go on. I think we all appreciate life a little differently now, but they're great. And even my brother Spencer, a few years ago, he goes, you know what? Even with all the drama, sometimes we enjoy each other. When we get together, we enjoy each other.
Is that maybe the secret? Do you think, to keeping your family together? Like, you guys have fun? I mean, I don't know many like siblings of that many people.
Everybody gets along.
My dad had 7 siblings. They all hate each other.
It happens a lot, yeah. My mom, unfortunately, she died about a year ago. I said this the other night. I was half kidding, half serious. I go, my mom died a year ago, but I miss when she was just dead.
What do you mean?
People are more, everyone's, oh, Todd, how are you? And I go, oh, do I miss when she was just dead? It was so nice.
It's like, that's how it is when you're pregnant. Everyone's just really nice to you.
You missed that, right? So it's this, and Ted Alexandro goes to me. He goes, you should say to the audience, if you do that on stage, which I didn't yet, he goes, say, I thought she was going to be just dead forever, folks. But now I think we realize everybody beautifully stepped in to go, now that mom's not here, we need to do this on our own.
Oh, that's
and I
interesting.
noticed it, like, oh, you texted me, you did this. So, but it's all
That's a
good.
really interesting thing that happens when someone dies. That they have this, their death has a reverberation in a way that they couldn't have seen happening, and you couldn't have either. I mean, I don't know if you could have. Like for me, my brother and I got more in touch with our Jewish identity after my father, who was an Orthodox Jew, died. We were never that heavily affiliated, and it's this like almost weird final. I don't know if it's a gift actually to be that Jewish, but it's this like final offering, like a reverberation from a spirit. And with you, it was like a closeness to your family.
Yeah,
It's really interesting. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's I said to my friend the other day, it's like as you get older, you might if you're lucky enough to evolve as you get older, just change and grow and appreciate on like what's important in life. I go, the more that happens, so in other words, what's going to happen by the time I'm 70? Am I just going to cry 24 hours a day? Because the littlest things make me cry right now. You know what I mean? Like just appreciation for life. I didn't cry this much 10 years ago. So it's probably because, I'm like my brother always goes, Todd, are we getting it right? Are we getting it right? Are we doing what we're here to do in life and this planet? So the more you realize that, I go, God, by the time I'm 80, I'll just cry all day long because you're so appreciative.
Do you think
Just
it's about...
By the time I'm 70, I'm going to be walking my kid to high school. She's going to be like, we're not going to have the luxury to cry.
I know. Do you think it's because you're like more and more aware of how much time you have left on the planet?
Well, Jesus, why do you have to bring that up? But yes, of course it is.
Yeah.
I forget which friend of mine we're talking. He goes, well, the reason when my dad died when I was like 23.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, you were sad, but it didn't represent your own immortality.
Right,
Is that
right,
did I say that
right.
word right?
Mortality,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, mortality. I go, oh, yeah. Because some nights I lay in bed doing math.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, wait, 30, how long ago was that? That was 20 years ago? Oh, okay. And I say, well, tops. I like to say on stage in front of the audience because they're doing math. I go, folks, seriously, I'm not delusional. Tops. I have 50, 60 years to live. Mm-hmm. And you see the crowd going, wait, how old is he? How old is this guy?
Well, not to bring things down, but losing my dad super young, it didn't represent my own mortality, but it gave me this feeling of I have to make it past 57. Did you have that feeling? How old was your dad when he died?
I had the same exact thing. My dad died, he was 46.
Oh my God.
I know. He had open heart surgery when he was 30.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he, and there wasn't Lipitor then. He didn't really drink, he didn't smoke, but he was like 35 pounds overweight, which isn't a lot.
It's not a lot,
but it
right?
was with bad food and
oh man,
at 46
That's
or 47.
young.
But you know what you said about you didn't mean to bring things down. I have this thing that I say, and I think there's an expression based on it. It's just narrowed down to, I think when you can only go as high as you can go low. Meaning that I think now when I think of my mom, and I'll have nights where I call them guided cries, where I let myself go there.
That's cool.
And I'll play like maybe something from the she brought us to see Hair when we were in elementary school. And you know what? That represented, if I had to say one thing about my mom that said everything about my mom, what mom would think in 7th, 8th grade.
I mean, isn't that the one where they have the song Fellatio?
Yeah, yes.
Cunnilingus?
A lot about prejudice though. And
and
she brought us to see it when we were in elementary school. Maybe it's my older brother was in 7th. And guess what? That stuff stuck, even if I didn't understand it then. So I'll play one of those songs and I'll just start. I mean, I can get myself crying, like really. But on the other side of it, I feel better because you can only go as high as you can go low. If you're willing to realize, you're sad because you realize you appreciate life when you come out of it. Guided cries. That's what I call it. I did make it. That's what I call it. It could be, I could play the Bare Necessities. Because she brought that album back from Disneyland with us. Play the Bare Necessities, lay in bed, turn off my phone, and just take myself wherever this song. And I started thinking of her making candles with my elementary school class, the puppies, the 12 puppies we had to nurse, because the mother's milk went bad, and all that stuff. And I'm like, and just let me go a teeny bit long on this because I thought it was an amazing moment. My mom would always she's like buying, oh, I want you to remember me by this. I go, Mom, I'm going to remember you by, I have a spatula that she made cookies with about 10 years ago. I framed it for her and I went over 1,000 cookies made. I gave it to her. I came home a year later. I go, what happened to the frame? It was in the kitchen. She goes, oh, I needed it. So she took it out of the frame. So she would buy me these things that I would remember her by. And I got home about a week ago, and I took off my shoes, and the insole was chewed by one of her dogs. They say the weirdest, and let me tell you something. I got very emotional very quick. And then I looked up, I saw the spatula, because that's the last thing one of her dogs will ruin of mine. But I never thought I'd miss that.
Right.
You know? And then I saw the spatula. And then at the end of my bed is a blanket that when I was home, I got it like 3 years ago. And she goes, oh, you don't want that? That's a puppy blanket. You know? That means it's been pooped and shit on thousands of times. Because she's always like bringing in a dog or something. And I go, oh, it's soft. I'll use it. And I took it. And I had new trim put on it. And that's at the end of my bed. Aww. And there's a stray cat in the neighborhood that I'm probably going to let sleep with me that night because it needed a home that probably has fleas. And I bawled because I went, Mom, I'm you. Like, because that's what she would do. Aww. I go, I might not have a dog or a cat that's my own, but I'm you. Here I am, pulling up a blanket with piss and shit all over it. I love, there's your spatula. A cat's going to sleep in my bed with fleas.
Just like at the Hilton Gardens.
and I'm complaining about them. But out of it, I came and I felt amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I know that's on the other side of it now, too.
So cathartic.
It is.
How did you instinctually get there? That's like amazing.
When I love TikTok and I love
TikTok got you there?
No. I saw some. I love it. What I'm saying is this is not shitting on it. I think it's just I think it's an amazing format for everything. But when I turn it off, that happened one night. I go, it's the cliche thing. I turned it to Todd, put your phone away. And then I went, okay, now I'm in my own thoughts,
Maybe that's the future with our phones, really trying to give yourself these 40 minutes without it or this hour and a half without it and like really sticking to it.
Or intentionally, like doing something with that hour and a half without it. It was my dad's anniversary of his death last week. And you light a yahrzeit candle. This like
in 24. The Jewish religion.
I'm Jewish. By the way.
I know you are
by birth. I don't.
Well, that's not for long. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
You're not leaving here without a yarmulke on. But one thing I think is really nice is you light a 24-hour candle, and because
you talk about them.
Yeah, I like you lost my dad when I was super young, and I had those moments of he would come up in this very palpable and tangible way, and I would sob, and then that kind of starts to drift away. And the yahrzeit candle is cool because at least once a year, like it's like I'm spending a day with my dad's memory, just almost implemented upon me by lighting the candle. He's like in the room in this very small way.
It's funny because
that's like a guided.
Yeah.
Cry.
And when the candle was burning, because it's like a very safe candle, so you let it burn all night. My friend came over and he had just written a book about his dad. And I said, oh, let me get the yahrzeit candle. And he was like, oh, thank you for that, because he was Jewish too. And just he spoke about his dad. The candle was burning, and it's almost like the guy's in the room for like
that's like a freebie to everyone. If you're not Jewish, it doesn't matter. You can just go buy a fucking 24-hour candle and it's just the presence of a that concept that people die twice is like the last when they physically die and then the last time someone says their name is like if you live with the memory of someone that's gone and you bring them up in a palpable way once a year and spend a day with that person, there's something very powerful about that.
Oh yeah.
Well, people are going to be talking about Todd Glass, the event of a lifetime, for many years.
That's right.
After your death in 60 to 80 years.
50 to 60.
60 to 70 years.
Yeah.
Actually, Todd, do you feel warmed up because we have one more person?
Yeah, I love
that.
I'm ready to go.
I'll tell you what they'll do.
Russ, is it Russ from Tulsa?
Russ from Tulsa is the one that's so weird you knew it. Yeah, he's the one that's calling. But you know what they're going to do, though?
I love that there's someone that's holding that because it makes me feel like I'm on like Good Morning America.
Russ from Tulsa. Hi, Russ. How you doing?
Hey.
We're here with Todd Glass.
How's it going?
How you doing, Russ?
Yeah. Despite my looks, I'm not a white nationalist.
No, you got a good look. You got a nice new T-shirt with a tight collar.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right? Is that a new one?
Do what?
It's a nice T-shirt. It's got.
Thank you.
It's still in good shape.
By the way, I'm not happy that you're not a white nationalist because if white nationalists were calling in, it would have meant that our demographic had split wide open.
Ooh, we wanted to expand.
The Patreon would have been
flooded. Hey guys, we got to do something different.
Okay, you got bits.
So Russ, what's going on? How can we help you?
So yeah, I wrote in. I kind of have an interesting situation with my wife.
Okay.
She kind of had sexual renaissance, I guess.
That's what you want out of
a
your
year
wife.
or two ago.
On her own?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I don't know. I hope not. I was involved a little bit, I would hope to think.
Hold on real quick,
But
just so later I understand. You said she had a sexual what?
renaissance.
You mean just like a new exploring new things?
Or like eating a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
turkey leg with like a
exactly.
weird
Like, she
pirate hat
kinda-
on.
Yeah, more comfortable with herself and
Okay.
exploring different things.
Did she get on Ozempic? No, that's a big thing now. I was trying
I
to
have
find
heard that.
negative things about Ozempic, and the only negative thing was that the women felt so secure that they left their husbands.
Good.
And it was like tearing up families because the women were hot now. and
They're
were
like, I'm not gonna be with this schlub
not that
anymore.
you're
I'm
hot
out of
if
here.
you're thin, but they felt like they were
No,
hot.
thank God Ozempic not involved.
Hasn't made it to
But,
Tulsa.
I want to do it.
So anyway, she her and a couple of her girlfriends, they went and got their nipples pierced
Mm-hmm.
back in June.
Yes.
I was all for it.
Yeah.
Visually, I loved it.
They all did it?
Visually, I loved it.
I loved it.
Visually,
Sounds like it turned you on, kind of.
So,
Oh,
well, so they look good. But well, the healing process for nipple piercing is crazy long.
mm-hmm.
It's like 6 months long.
Mm.
So I had to go no contact. Like her nipples had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is she putting the cream on it and stuff?
How long
like,
you been doing stand up?
I have done it once.
Okay, all right.
But I'm not at your guys' level. But anyway, she got them done. She loves them. But logically, like physically, they're horrible.
What do
and I
you?
hate them.
What do you mean?
Like, you mean like they don't? You can't touch them
Well, you just it's
functionally.
Like they like you clank your teeth on them. It's like I mean, you're trying to drive a car with the club steering wheel lock still on it.
How often are you touching her tits? Like
I
you don't have
know.
to touch them
a
all.
lot.
You
Why
well,
wouldn't I?
hopefully a lot.
Are
Does
they
Moshe
really
not
big?
touch yours a lot?
I haven't
Mine-
touched Natasha's in over 10 years.
Well, my
since our wedding night.
my nipples are very sensitive. I actually don't really like someone on my nipples that much, and also my tits aren't that big. So if she's got like
yeah,
really
I
big
know.
ones, and that's what
Yeah,
really
they're
turns
pretty
you on.
nice.
You want to kind of juggle those babies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there things you
So-
did to her before that she? So she's saying these things she liked. Oh, God, are you finished? Because I want to make sure I let you finish before I weigh in.
Oh, well, I just don't like them. It's just
Wait, I'm
they're not-
confused. You think they're hot visually, but because
Yes.
there's so much metal involved, you think they're functionally you don't like them anymore.
Well, they just get snagged on stuff.
Yeah, I get
You
it.
can't.
Edit this out.
Yeah. I can't treat them the way I used to.
Right. Well, I
You
feel
want to
like
slap her tits around?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's your advice all the time.
No.
That's every time. The last call too. It's so
she
weird.
said you gotta slap your
Yeah.
tits.
Dude, you got a 9-year-old psychopath around. You got to slap that kid's tits around.
Are we still in the 6-month healing period?
no, we're past that
Okay.
now. So now
So
I'm like
this is
finally
as good as it gets.
I'm
Okay.
getting
I
to
think I know the
explore.
answer.
What?
Well, it might not have an answer. It might be to take you to the next level to find out the answer. So, I feel like, again, it involves communication. Are you able to communicate this? What's your wife's name?
You don't have to
I
say.
just-
Oh, yeah, never mind. I don't want the neighborhood. Okay, hold on, sir. Please, hold on, sir. We'll get to your call in a second. Are you able to communicate this with her that it's I know why you said you thought it was hot because you're trying to tell us the history of like, I didn't get turned off by it right away when I first saw it. I thought it was hot.
Yeah,
You're trying to,
that's fair.
but then you're like, but then that wasn't the problem. And then now it just doesn't work. Look, we know what you mean. Like when with your mouth. Anyway, but are you able to communicate that with her?
Yeah, and I know what her answer is going to be.
No,
She's
I
not
said
gonna give a shit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so
Because
so
she's
my
already had a
opinion is-
sexual revolution. She's like, I'm doing this for
Right.
me. Fuck you.
wait. Oh, she won't give a shit. Meaning she won't care that you don't like. By the way, you saying you don't like it, I don't think is ownership in a bad way. Either way, you could do something that she didn't like. I don't think you're trying to say you govern her body. She should do whatever she wants. But there can be a mutual understanding between the two of you. That's not stifling her sexual revolution or whatever you call it. Just learning to be more and more
Right.
comfortable with your body. But have you said to her, I don't like this. It's not feeling right it's not feeling right when I fool around with you?
No, I don't want to because I like pushed, like obviously she got him because she wanted him. But
She's basically gonna tell
I
him
was like,
tough shit.
I was like the biggest cheerleader.
So I'm sorry, and it could be me. I smoked a lot of pot waiting in the car. Did you discuss this with her and say it's not working for me?
No.
I mean, no, I haven't.
What about trying that? You know her, so you can guess what she would say, and I'm curious. But why not try that?
She wouldn't. She's gonna say, "Well, I don't care. I'm gonna keep him."
I got a more practical solution.
You need to leave her.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, so that's what I was going to say.
We'll take your calls. We'll be right back right after this. 365-4100. We'll give.
Have you thought about the fact that it could be her mom's fault? No. Here's a question: are they rings with like a ball at the end of them?
No, it's like a dumbbell.
It's like a little stud.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Have you thought about buying her a different set of jewelry that might be less obtrusive to you, and seeing if she puts them in?
Yeah, those dumbbells sound like they would.
Yeah, I
catch on
have, but I
everything.
mean, she just kind of like.
She didn't put
She
them
told
in.
me to quit buying her stuff because I have tried to buy like different
so
styles.
I got more questions here, and I don't mean to go down the same path I went down with the first person. It might have some similarities. But how's your communication outside of this? I like this, I don't like that, or what? How are you great at communicating towards each other's feelings outside of this?
That's a good question.
Because that's weird that... yeah, go ahead.
Great.
Great.
It's more of a me problem, obviously. Well, it's a me problem.
Well, what if she took him out when you... Am I wrong to say when you fool around?
But you can't take them out.
No, they cannot come
they
out.
don't come out?
They don't come out.
I got a situation on my hands now. I'm not even...
Listen, Rusty, what's his name?
Wait, go ahead. No, you can't. Okay.
But interesting, Rusty. Is it Rusty?
I think it's Russ.
Russ.
It's Russ, but I'll take Rusty.
So what are you asking? Just what do you do about the fact that you're now feeling turned off by her nipple rings?
Yeah, like physically.
What do you mean? How do you?
I'm gonna avoid that area because it's just.
How do you suck on her titties without chipping a tooth? Like, what do you want to figure out?
Well, I guess how do I tell her? I mean, because I know she's gonna say, I don't care. I got him from me, not for you.
I'll tell you what you do. You show her this video. Seriously, we're having an intelligent conversation. And if at one point she doesn't go, wait, honey, I might, by the way, if I'm wrong, there's always somebody, a therapist or someone that understands respect between two people. I'll go, but this is just my best advice. That if she watches this thing and then she goes, oh, wait, I can do what I like for my body and still take into consideration, they don't come off. It should engage at least a conversation. It's not like, sorry. I don't even believe that's fair to say about her, because who knows, if you had this conversation with her, she might be warm and loving and go, oh, what can we do to work on this? Right?
What do you think, Tosh?
Well, listen, she's going to get sick of those eventually. No one's going to be like 70 and have like barbells in there.
He's got to wait till he's 70 to,
I'm just saying,
play with her tits?
Just know that she's not going to have them forever. Second of all, she's on her own trip. You already know what she's going to say. She's like, fuck you. Moshe and I saw a poster, or someone actually spray painted a block away from our house, slurp the sphincter.
Yeah, slurp the sphincter. It was graffiti in our neighborhood.
Graffiti. It's just some new graffiti.
Slurp the sphincter.
That is my recommendation to you, sir. Get into her asshole. Get into her butt.
Yeah, you should slurp the sphincter for
just
sure.
Like,
That's a great
let
bit
her
of advice.
feel hot.
That is really good advice,
Don't
honey.
criticize her fucking tits.
Yeah,
slurp the sphincter.
That is great.
Jiggle her ass.
Yeah.
Let her have her feelings. Let her feel like she's hot, and she's gonna love you for it.
That's
right.
That advice is probably better than my... Yeah. You know, it might sound silly the way you're saying it, but at the guts of it, you're right.
Thank you.
I'm curious about her sexual revolution. She's just coming into her own as a sexual being and like starting to do a bunch of stuff, getting sex toys, piercing her nipples, all this different stuff, right? Basically.
And she's involving him. That's cool.
Well, is she involving you? I don't mean does she let you have sex with her. I mean, do you guys do sexually adventurous learning experiences together, or are you just like sitting there and then she comes home and goes, look honey, it's a horse tail in my asshole. Like, what, are you involved?
No, oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, so you're in the mix.
Yeah, I'm getting nothing but, you know.
I'm not asking if you're
it's benefiting
obedient
me.
white man.
No, but I'm not asking if you're benefiting from it. Obviously you are. I'm asking, like, do you guys go to like a BDSM workshop together? Do you guys go to a?
Oh, no, not
no
that
one does
level.
that, Moshe.
Yeah.
No, that's not true, honey. Nobody from Rockford, Illinois does that. Everyone in the
BDSM
literally
workshop
everyone in the Bay
together?
Area does that.
Or Tulsa, Oklahoma.
That's first date. No, I'm just saying that like it sounds like she's having a unilateral sexual revolution, and then you're like at home like Russ is ready, and then you get to fuck her if she deigns. But like it could be that if you what.
No.
It could be that if you got involved in communicating, not in communicating the things you don't like about her, but communicating the things that you'd like to try with her, like you have your own sexual revolution with her, and then you could like respect where she, because I think Natasha's right, slurp the sphincter for sure. Like, don't just be the beneficiary of an independent, sexually liberated woman. Become an active participant because that's your partner. You guys could be having a lot of fun. You could get stuff you never dreamed was possible.
Okay.
Russ,
Moshe?
that's good advice.
So get my nipples pierced.
I know.
Yeah,
I
no,
was just
kind
gonna
of.
tell
I
Moshe
know.
that I'm not gonna pierce my nipples.
I don't need you to,
He
but
seems
kind
a
of.
little too into this.
No, I'm just. But
I'm
this
not
is.
into pain, and it also it's
I'm not
like
either.
I don't like to wear a bra. I mean, that feels very impractical for me.
No, but.
Wait, what does she do? But she just shoves. Oh, she's got big tits, so she's got to always put them in a bra, probably, huh? Like a padded bra.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so no one can
I
see.
mean, she's just a normal.
Is she
Soccer
up?
mom,
Is she
you know?
up right now? I don't mean to ask, but I'm gay.
You want to see him?
Well, I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm gay. Not that I say that out loud that often, but if she could just let me just see. I feel like these guys will.
No, Natasha
their
can look. I'll cover my eyes.
Cover your eyes.
Todd and Natasha can look.
And people at home, please don't be disgusting pigs.
Yeah.
Cover your eyes unless you have no interest.
Everybody watching needs to
No,
cover their
listen,
eyes.
this is
I
anonymous.
don't think she's not there yet. She's not at that level.
I know. We're just kidding
or-
around, sir.
And you know what? It makes her
Awakening.
feel sexy, and it's helping your. And you know the fact that she wants to fuck you, and she's.
Yep.
There are much worse things than having your wife go through a sexual revolution. Because to be honest,
Yes.
most people I know don't want to fuck their husbands anymore.
What do you mean?
Right.
I'm just
Well,
saying.
Yeah, we've been together for a long time.
What the fuck?
So.
This is a
I'm
big
not
reveal.
saying myself. I'm just saying it's like common.
Well, most
It is very common. And by the way, I tell you my advice. I forget what it was even at this point. But look, this is so awkward for me to talk about because I'm sort of like I'm so stiff in a way. Like I think I'm a free spirit. But when I talk about sex, I get so
Well, Nikki
Blocked
Glazer
up.
was on our podcast talking about how she likes to watch fisting porn.
good. Anything.
Good.
Whenever you're honest about what you
Good.
like, it makes the world a better place. Unless it hurts somebody else.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, what I wanted to say is you could go around them. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Right, you can avoid them, right?
I think that's the key,
yeah.
Todd.
It's not going to be the
No.
same as it always was.
Todd just. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying.
That's the key. Like Todd just said it. Like with the nipple piercing, where you can't do one thing, which is like slurp upon the nipple the way you used to, you get this unbelievable treasure trove of other new things that you weren't able to do before the nipple piercing era of your wife's life. So just you lost one thing and gained everything. You gained the whole world. Have
Right.
you heard of doggy style?
that I keep picturing them
You
in
know-
doggy style.
Yeah.
You know what? You never see a psychic that goes really like you call in a show, and you never see a psychic go. So she's fucking your boss. We'll take another call right after this.
You sound like a lucky man, is I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah,
No, I'm extremely lucky. Love my wife. She's
Okay, Russ,
hot.
well-
She's amazing.
Russell, thank you. And
Slurp
looks
the
like
sphincter.
Slurp it.
looks like you're in a nice house. Those doors behind you look like you have a backyard.
Yeah, I do have a backyard.
You have mulch.
No mulch.
No mulch. What do you have around your trees and your shrubs?
Yeah, that's a great
It's just
question.
grass, green grass, man.
Yeah, you need mulch, sir. We'll call
Yeah.
you.
We'll call you back.
Call you back off the air. We're gonna try to get a GoFundMe for your fuck my show in New York. I want to get this guy some mulch around his shrubbery.
I mean,
Okay.
it's true though. You just kiss tits less, and all of your sexual fantasies can come true. I mean, you could tell her anything. It sounds like. Russ, what have you dreamed
Yeah.
of doing that you've never been able to do?
I don't know. I guess it's something that I
Yeah, you do.
loved. And then it got taken away from me.
Well,
So-
it hasn't been taken away from you. It's been augmented by steel.
I guess I'm just a glass half empty guy.
Well, I think
Well.
you should look at the
Work on that.
ass half full.
Yes, and also
Okay.
what he said about it only can look half empty if you're not seeing where it's filling. Like as
Right.
far as like her having, we keep using this word sexual revolution. I don't know if she heard this, she'd be like, "What? I got nipple rings." But if she really is somebody that's exploring herself in new ways, That's a big deal. It's worth losing one thing
Yeah,
to get
for
like.
sure.
Well, look, I'm just repeating what you said.
I was repeating what you said.
All right.
And what you said.
Well, we
Slurp
love
the
you,
sphincter.
Russ.
We love you.
Good luck.
Slurp it.
Slurp
All right,
that.
thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Well,
Slurp pussy.
here we go. We did it. We did an
Todd, you
episode.
had such good advice.
I had a great time. We got to talk to each other. Is it over already?
You don't have to. We could play some secrets if you want to hear some secrets.
Yeah.
You want to stay longer?
I have time,
All right.
but I don't want to seem desperate.
You got a couple secrets?
Do we edit that out?
No.
I don't want to seem desperate. I go into my car. Most nights you heard me laughing, but usually when I pull up to someone's house early, I cry into a sock for about an hour.
Why the sock?
Well, I'm sad and I have a sock. I don't want to get my interior all dirty.
Okay, so Todd, people call our hotline and they leave their deep dark secrets on our hotline.
I love it.
And we'll play a couple. And
You
we'll just
tell
have
me
some
when
fun
we're
with
done.
it.
Don't end because you think I want to leave. End because you guys have done. Or you're done.
We would love to do some secrets
We're not
with you.
ending until everybody listening to this episode goes to toddglass.com and gives a cash donation to the event of a lifetime and becomes a supporter of the arts.
Someone's going to come in and pay for the whole thing. You're
Someone
not
come
going to.
in. You know, all these comedians. You know what I said? Now that Bert Kreischer was right. He goes, "Don't be embarrassed to be desperate." It's like, some comedian. You think, do comedians owe me something? What's that in my head? Do I think they owe me something? Maybe I should give my same advice. Like, why do comedians owe you something, Todd? Because they all say how nice you've been over the years. Okay, well,
That's a big thing.
That's a big thing.
When did you start comedy? Like 1995?
Oh my God. I don't like to talk about my age that often, but when it comes to how long I've been doing comedy, I don't mind. I started comedy in 82.
Whoa.
81.
Wow.
So it's been a long time that I've done stand-up, and I still love it. But
You
I
have
think
60 years left?
60, 70 tops.
Yeah.
But I think, can't some comedian out there, I'm not going to mention names because then it gets pay for the whole thing. If I died tomorrow, and it's not going to happen. Don't you tell me there'd be one comedian that would find this episode. Once you're dead, they find the episodes. This episode would be talked about. And they're going to go, why didn't I just pay for that? I knew he was doing that. Did I not know? I think it's because they don't realize it's something. It's something.
Well,
it's
I think-
worth putting the money into.
I think it's going to happen this fall.
I'm tired of this shit begging for $20. Folks, don't send any money. For fuck Seed and Spark. You people are beautiful. You don't need the help. I'm fine. Unless you got the money. But the benefactor, pay for the whole thing. I don't want to start mentioning names, but you guys got me going.
I got a question. You've been doing comedy since 82?
Yeah, 81.
How do you... 81.
81.
You want to know what year I was born in?
You were born in 90?
79.
90, thank you. 79. But
79.
do you... When you're going across town to do a set, are you excited?
Yes. And can I tell you something? That I promise you I'm better than trying to connect that with what you said. I really still love doing stand-up. Matter of fact, you know, when I go out on stage now in the last year, I go out on stage like I have something to fucking prove. I go out. I want to do well.
That's
Yeah.
And, you know, I
awesome.
won't jeopardize what I think's funny to do it, but I'll tighten it up. I'm more rehearsed. On my worst night, I feel like I'm still fucking good. And this show, you know, so I still love stand-up comedy, but I know what do I want to do for the rest of my career. And I know that I would rather just have a show that is like, you know, residency somewhere.
Right.
In Vegas?
To me to have, not in Vegas because I don't think my crowd would come there.
But the crowds that are already there are so good.
Not for this
No, I'm
show.
joking. I'm joking. The worst in the country. The worst in the country.
I bought it. They're so good. I'm like, okay, I can pivot this. We're having
New
a friend.
York. New York
Yeah,
residency.
New York.
Yeah, cool.
And it doesn't have to be a huge place, but where I just have this thing that I can do for the remainder of my career. And because it's like I said, even some of the good comedy clubs that aren't so great. You forget about the bad ones. Well, the good ones they get stuck. The comedy on state it's its own league. Comedy on Vermont Comedy Club. They're in their own league. But
Vermont Comedy Club's good?
Vermont Comedy Club is amazing.
Oh, I
One of the
should
best
go.
grilled cheeses I ever had was around the corner from the Vermont Comedy Club.
Well, you've been to the Vermont Comedy
I
Club?
have, yeah.
Yeah, they love comedy.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. You figure out, what are the good clubs? Oh, they like comedy.
New Orleans doesn't have good clubs. Do they not like they like jazz?
They like jazz.
They
and
don't
you
have-
like jazz. And you're the New Orleans of comedy.
I'm the New Orleans of comedy.
Wow.
New Orleans of comedy. But anyway, so the benefit, pay for it. Should we mention names? I mean, there's comedians out there, you know.
They probably
Oh.
don't listen to our podcast.
Yeah, they will. Though the word will get out. I should drop a name.
Yeah, you should.
We're waiting
Well,
for you.
Let me think.
Natasha Leggero.
How
How much do you need?
How about Mike Birbiglia could help me out?
He
He
could.
says I changed the way. When he saw me, he goes, I realized, oh my God, I know how comedy can be that. Now, if he's just saying that to be nice, he already did me the favor. Let's say he doesn't really believe that. But if he goes, no, well, then pay for it.
How about 3 people
Jim
get 50,000?
Gaffigan.
Oh,
Jim
that's
Gaffigan.
good.
John Mulaney. I mean, come on, people.
Come on, guys.
Pay for this thing.
Pay
I'm
for
desperate.
it.
Don't make me beg. It's embarrassing. But I believe if the word gets into their ear, the only reason they wouldn't pay for it, I will give. You pay for the whole thing. if it's successful, 25% of it.
No, too much.
No, I don't care. You know why? My dad. Another thing for my dad. 25% for if this show makes it, if it gets successful, where I can tour with it, and you pay for the whole thing, I'll give you 25% of the. I'll tell you why. My dad used to say, "I'd rather have a little bit of something than a lot more of nothing."
Sure.
I like this guy.
I still don't like 25%.
30 then. I don't understand.
The world's worst negotiator.
Okay, so we have some things here.
All right, let's play a secret.
I'm going to probably stay here. Can I stay here for a week?
Yeah.
I'm getting my house tented.
Yeah.
Are you really?
No. I did a year ago. Did you ever have your house tented?
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
It's like having a circus come to town.
I swear to you, this is not a lie. When my brother came to town, when I first moved to LA, I learned that they tent houses in LA, and I sold it real good. I said, "You want to see this freakiest thing?" Because I knew a home up the street had been tented. I go, the owner, I guess the founder of Ringling Brothers lives up the street. Because, and I go, it's
so
crazy.
stupid.
By the way, I get that he bought it, even though I wanted to go, come on, please, Michael. But because it's landscape, think about it. Those things
does
come
look
down.
like a circus
it
tent.
looks like a house, and there's a driveway. But maybe the owner of. Anyway, let's move it on. Here.
Okay.
All right, let's hear a secret.
Hi, my name is Leslie.
Hi guys. So here's my secret. I attend NA meetings, and
Narcotics Anonymous.
the other day at this meeting there was this really drunk guy who came. He was a newcomer, and he made a scene and everything. After the meeting, me and some friends were talking about it, and right at that moment he comes up to all of us, introduces himself. He's on his way out, gives everybody a hug, comes over to me, asks me my name. I give it to him, and he hugs me in this very overtly sexually charged energy kind of way, and puts his hand on top of my head and like musses my hair a little bit and says, "I'll never forget you." And then he walks away.
Ew.
And
Isn't this why you go to
well,
AA?
if you ask for
and
my
NA?
friends, I was absolutely mortified, right? Creeped out. Oh my God. You better never do that stuff again to me, right? But anyways, I went home that night and I
And jerked off.
was so turned on by it, I jerked off.
Yeah, there we go, Todd.
But yeah, that's my secret. Thanks for listening.
Wow.
Don't fuck him.
Don't. Oh man, that's because that's that forbidden fruit. There's no forbidden fruit like a
Did you
newly
fuck
sober.
people in A, you must have, right?
Fuck people in AA.
In AA
on one second.
and like programs.
My foot went numb. I'm having a nervous breakdown.
Okay, bye, Todd.
Do you ever have your foot go numb?
Yeah, sure.
My hands go numb. It's just
Do
part
they
of-
really?
Part of life, I think.
And now the end is near.
Absolutely. Of course, I had sex with people in AA. I was in AA for 20 years. What am I gonna not? Did you ever have sex with people in comedy? I mean, it's like, yeah.
I was, I didn't that much because I was in the closet, so I didn't.
What would you do to find sexual?
Please.
Is that? Oh, we don't talk
I wrote
about
a
that?
song.
Oh yeah.
I've been down that road. I didn't.
You weren't very sexually active.
I
You
wasn't.
might have had a sexual revolution.
You did.
I did,
Your
and you know
nipples are
what?
pierced.
When my friend once said, Todd, before I came out, I called a friend of mine. I was like, "Am I making a mistake?
By coming out?
Yeah, about coming out. Like, am I not thinking this through? Like,
He's a gay guy, or he's just?
he's not Daniel Tosh."
Uh huh.
And he goes,
That's
"No,
who we are. That's who every gay man calls and asks if they should come out of the
Well,
closet.
because he was.
Oh, Danny boy, the gays are calling.
I just knew he'd be honest, and I thought, am I not thinking this through? He was, by the way, the advice was, no, Todd. He goes, look, I'm not saying this to make you to feel bad, but I'm just telling you. He goes, no one cares, but they talk about it a lot. They think it's sad that you're not comfortable to say it.
Right.
And he goes, He goes, oh, wait.
That's a good friend.
Yeah. What was the thing you just said about? Oh, he goes, if anything, a few of my people in the office, they went, maybe he's just asexual. And I go, oh, that's worse. And not worse, but like, I don't want him to think I'm asexual. Do you know what I mean?
That feels repressed or something.
Because that feels like, no, I'm not asexual. Believe me, I've got a boner most of the day. But and then the other thing that was half kidding, half serious. He said something like, he goes, definitely do it. He goes, no. And he goes, but like, he goes, trying, like, they think, if anything, they're like, Todd is a roommate? And I'm thinking, oh, because they think I'm not doing good in my career. I'd rather them know I'm gay than that I need it. I'm gay, everybody. That's not my roommate. I am in a gay relationship. My career is absolutely fine.
That is so funny. Your repressed
my
internal homophobia was trumped by your career insecurity.
Exactly.
It's a bigger force.
Oh my God, you nailed it. Exactly. Which is sad and funny and probably everything in between. But yeah.
So can we keep asking these questions?
I love it. I don't get to talk about it that often still.
Did you experience, once you had the freedom of coming out, a sort of sexual wonder zone of like delights and just Kubla Khan like fun?
I was in a relationship.
Oh, you were in a relationship.
But that, not because of this, ended about 6 months after I came out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what?
He's like, I got with a closeted guy, and that's what I wanted.
What was your question?
Oh, if you had like a sexual awakening and just got to do whatever you wanted finally.
It wasn't that much, but it was, yes. It was definitely like, okay, I could be with other people and experience that. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't with that many people. And then I got into another relationship, and but yeah, it was so much. I remember thinking, I swear to God, I thought everyone says their lives are better, but it's not going to be. Like, I know with me, it's going to be like, oh, it wasn't any better. It was maybe better. I shouldn't have. But then I was so glad.
It was so much better.
Oh my God.
You wish you would have done it sooner.
Yeah, I do. And I remember thinking,
not much sooner though, just a year or two.
Maybe not when it wasn't cool anymore. And I'm glad I did it just before it was still cool to do it. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, like, oh, he's now, no one really cares. But yes, it was life was so much better. And a lot, and I stopped with it. I go, Todd, stop making those lies when you're talking to someone. It could be anywhere, and go, my girlfriend. I used to be at the Vons at the checkout line. Oh, my girlfriend told me to try this. I had more girlfriend stories than people that had girlfriends. I would always met my girlfriend. I had this. I go, put that to rest. I go, now somebody is. I remember thinking this about 2 months after I came out. You're going to be in a situation where someone doesn't know you're gay. In the comedy community, everybody knew, and they didn't care. Now I admitted it. It was about me. But there's going to be in a situation, and it happened. It happened at something. Some girl goes, "Oh my God, blah blah blah. You should go." She goes, "They're all going to this gay bar in Montreal." She goes, "Oh, you're not going to go? Don't be homophobic." I go, "Here's my opportunity. Am I going to say it?" And I did. I went, "Well, actually, I couldn't say the word gay yet, so I said, I like dudes."
That's good.
And,
that's not bad.
But, I thought that was.
But you were true to yourself.
I was true to myself, and then, but I was like, yeah, you're not gonna start lying and just, going because someone didn't know. You're gonna be honest. But anyway,
it's very inspiring.
What were you? I mean, I want to ask more questions, but
we
I
have
don't
another secret.
Okay, fine.
Do you have like a very pressing question?
It's not pressing. It's unbelievably personal.
No,
though.
I'm curious.
Yeah, it's really personal.
We can cut it out if you want.
Well, what were you afraid of?
Oh, I know the answer to that. And also having a great manager too. That was my manager at the time, Alex Murray. I said, I have a clean answer for that. I didn't grow up around a ton of homophobic people in my life. I didn't
probably not a lot of gay people either.
No. But my mom and dad, they didn't give a shit. They showed dogs, so there were gay people in my life. You know what I mean? And I didn't have a lot of people that were like, oh, you hear, our friend Brad came out. Fuck no. It was always this. They didn't care. No one knew I was gay, so they would go like, hey, did you hear John came out of the closet? They'd talk in front of me, and they go, it always led to this. Like, oh, I don't give a shit. Like, they're like, I told him, I'm like, you're my friend. I don't care. But after that, nothing went wrong. It was healthy conversation that needed to be had. They would talk about, but I can't imagine two guys having sex. That's what it would go to for like an hour, 45 minutes. Like, oh, two guys, who does this, who's does that? I go, oh my God, if I come out, they're just going to all picture me having sex. It was so personal. Like, that's all they're going to do. And you can't go, oh, no, they won't. No. I know what happens because I lived that life. You know, if you're black, you can't be unblack for a little while to hear what people say behind your back.
Right.
But when you're gay, you can actually, especially if you're traditionally more, you know, people might believe you're straight. So I
You're
would
privy to that information.
I'm privy to what they
Right.
do, and in my case, it wasn't even mean spirited, but it was. Can you imagine them having sex? Can you imagine them having sex? I'm like, so I was like, I'm afraid I don't want that to be my identity.
It got caught. That sound bite got caught in a loop in your consciousness.
That it was so personal.
Yeah.
And my manager, Alex, goes, oh, he's the best. He goes, Todd, it's not going to be your identity because it's not the most interesting thing about you.
Right.
And I go, oh, I'm like, he goes, yeah, maybe for someone, maybe it is the most interesting thing about them and they'll ride that out and it'll end.
Right.
But he goes, it's not the most interesting thing about you and it'll pale. And I was like, he gave me the confidence.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Can I ask one last question?
Oh my
How
God.
do two guys do it? Like, how does that even work? Like, who does what? And like, what's that all about? Like, I'm joking.
Honestly,
Let's
the
go.
He's
I was trying to think
joking.
of something funny. Of course he's joking. The guy
Okay.
sticks his okay.
Okay. Well, no, a woman in Tulsa pierces her nipples, and it kind of just trickles down from there.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear another secret.
Hi, Natasha. Hi, Moshe. When I was 17, 18 years old and applying to go to college, I really didn't know how, and my parents did not help me at all. So
Same.
one of the things that I did was pull out, like, my birth records, my birth certificate and stuff, and I used my dad's Social Security number to apply for student loans. He had no idea for the longest time. And then when I was like 19 or 20, my parents actually ended up getting a divorce. And he found like all of these student loans on his credit report. And he ended up blaming my mom. Luckily enough for me, my mom totally took the blame and never said anything to my dad. But yeah, now I am 30 years old. My dad still thinks that it was my mom. He has no idea that I took out like $60,000 in student loans in his name overall. I went to a pretty expensive college because, again, I just like did not know what I was doing as far as like financial aid and loans went. But yeah, my parents ended up getting a divorce, and he had to remortgage his house to pay off the loans. I'm super fortunate, obviously, that my dad never blamed me. We have a pretty good relationship. I'm also super fortunate that my loans got paid off one way or another. But yeah, that is my secret.
It's like that.
I do have another secret, and really it's just advice for people who are calling in to leave secrets. I really just think, like, maybe write them down, maybe think them through, practice calling once or twice
Okay,
before
that's
you
rude
do.
coming
Some
from
of these
her.
secrets are really atrocious to listen to and are hard to get through.
I have
But, yeah, that's all. Just practice your secret before you call. Maybe, you know, tell your husband, tell a friend, or just practice it in the mirror. And
I don't
that
think
way
our
when
secrets
you
are
call,
that
you don't have
rambling.
to pull
You know, it's funny.
I
When
love you guys
it
so
does
much.
have to do with me
Bye.
coming out and secrets.
Yeah.
Because I found that emails I got, oh, it's bigger than this. Keeping any secret sucks.
Yeah.
And the advice I will, we're not really giving her advice, but I will in a weird way. My friend found out that his mom, that he was adopted. Him and his sister found out. And the advice I gave him, and he took it, and I was really glad that he did. I was like, Lewis, he doesn't care. I go, Lewis, because he don't know, do I tell Mom? Does she live with this the rest of her life? And we don't care. If we go, maybe we'll say, Mom, like, we know and we don't care. Like, she can be at peace. And I got that. I go, Lewis, I know you might not do this because it's going to be a pain in the ass, but I highly recommend you and your sister go to therapy, even if it's 3 sessions. Go get 2-hour sessions. You can't get anything done in an hour. Even if you're honest, you go, we need to talk through this important decision in our life. We need 2-hour sessions. I told him, because Lewis, you're not going to, in an hour, it's too short. Get 3 2-hour sessions. And they basically did that to make their decision. Because you don't want to go, oh, tell them. It's like so important. If you have a secret, sometimes it is better to take that secret to your death in certain situations. Other times, obviously not. So go to a therapist. Like, they'll talk you through that. Is this a secret you don't need to be sharing with anybody? And how can you emotionally heal but not put that other person in they don't need to know this. Does that make sense?
Yes, and also don't feel bad. Your parents are kind of supposed to pay for college. I mean, mine didn't, but
You can't do mail fraud, though.
I know, but
That
remember
is a
that
good
woman,
solution to
Lori
student debt.
Laughlin, who was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm actually gonna help it. I would pay." Isn't that hard? Like, would you pay for our daughter like $50,000 to have her get into a great school if you had the money?
I mean, it depends on what kind of parent you are.
Your parents didn't help you with college?
No.
It's funny. I know that story from somebody else too. And there was like, they didn't know till later. Why did everybody else's parents help them with college?
Did your parents help you with college?
I didn't go to college.
You were busy doing sets.
I started doing stand.
Wait, to what you were saying, though, that's really wise advice, and I think people don't take it enough. People have this idea that they're either in therapy or they are not in therapy. They don't want to go to therapy, but people don't use therapy the way that it could be used, which is like triage. I have a crisis. I'm going to get a therapist to help me through one particular situation. You
Right.
don't have to be in an analysis
and
for
with
5 years.
BetterHelp and all these like online
easy.
therapy
Yeah.
Find somebody out there that can advise you on a
even
specific
if you have to pay
thing.
a monthly thing, it's like pay for 2
um,
months.
I'll name drop a little, but because I think you would think every family did this. Sarah Silverman's sister, who is a rabbi, they have a therapy session. To me, you would think, well, every family does this, of course, but no. Once a week. I don't know if it happened this way gradually. Maybe someone had the therapy session. Then as they didn't need it, they kept the appointment. So I don't know, their kids are a little older now. This is like 8 years ago. But they have a therapy session once a week. And sometimes the mom will be like, you know what? You need it. You take it.
That's
Or you
interesting.
need-
Who is it? Only like 1-on-1?
It's one-on-one.
Can Sarah dip in?
Well, Sarah's not part of that.
No, I'm saying could she zoom in, or could Sarah's manager drop in if nobody was taking it? Like, just somebody fill this spot.
But yeah, they always they have a therapist.
It's very
as they
civilized.
It's
Very
very
civilized.
civilized. It's so wow, and it's like sometimes when no one needs it, they go, "That's the best feeling in the world." If someone goes in, somebody will always need it. But sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, you can do it," or sometimes two of them are like, "I need it, you need it." But it's there
A
once a
family
week.
therapy session. That's interesting. By the way, the implication that this woman, with her second bit of advice, like rehearse your secrets, it implied that she had just killed it so hard on her own secret that she was able to give that kind of advice. She's like, like my student loan secret, that was a 10. And I don't know if I would think that was a 10, lady.
I agree. All right, let's hear another secret.
I love them.
One more.
Very. Hello, my name is. I can't help doing that every time.
Yeah, my daughter caught me jacking off in the back of my Snaplet's truck. And now she won't look at me in the eye. What do I do? Because anyway, you know what this Snapple is? I would deliver it one day. I was a little horny, and my daughter walked in, and she won't look me in the eye.
Okay.
All right, God, I should have rehearsed that in the mirror.
This is for the Secrets Hotline. I get massages a lot, and I have a great relationship with my therapist, and they've helped me so much,
My
and I keep
therapist.
it so
Fishy.
professional. Except for this one time when they told me to move my head a little bit and take a deep breath in for me, and I immediately came a little bit.
Whoa.
That's my secret. Okay, bye.
Whoa.
You know what? I'm nothing but love on this one, because you can't help that.
Come on, though. It's real different if it's a man.
Okay, she was in a massage and she came.
Was it a
little.
man or a woman massaging her?
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is if you're the client, if I was like, yeah, I got a great relationship with my therapist, but one time she moved my head and I did come a little bit. I busted, slightly busted.
What did she mean? Move her head a little bit? Like,
He was probably like, okay, no, I'm going. like whispering
She
when they're
came a
like,
little bit.
I'm going to turn you over.
Yeah, but what if I came a little bit during
Ugh.
I got a
you're saying it's
boner
okay for a woman.
during a woman massaging me, and I'm not interested at all.
You like dudes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say not at all, I'm not on a spectrum. I believe the spectrum thing is true. Everybody's on a
Sure.
spectrum, but mine's like I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I'm not attracted to women at all. It's for me, so it's 100%. That's why when you say
Todd, I'm sitting right here.
Yeah,
I
that's
know,
rude.
I know.
It is
You know
rude.
what we did. But
with nipple rings, though, would you? A little bit with Natasha?
I'd go
It was
around
just-
them.
yeah.
I'd go around them.
You got a boner.
Oh, but yeah, with a female.
Yeah.
I remember this friend of mine, Nikki, who was in massage school, and she said something I wish they would do, because when I started getting massages, they tell you to turn over. It was like really uncomfortable. And she goes,
oh, because you've already been down, and now you
you've been
turn over and you
down.
got a hard on.
Right. And she goes, you know what I try to do? And I was like, oh, God bless you, Nikki. I got to think of something to say, because I know it's stupid and people know what you mean, but I hate saying God bless you, because afterwards I want to go to the people. I don't believe in God, by the way. I don't want you to think I'm a lunatic. But anyway, she goes, I find business to do, fake business.
So it can calm down a little bit?
That is 100% turned around.
Interesting.
And I go, Nikki, you need to tell that to every fucking massage therapist on the planet.
What if it doesn't go down, though?
That's a good question.
You know what? She goes, it just takes 60 seconds. I come, I act like I'm mixing something. I go, she just says, I make business to do.
You know what I did during COVID? I got massages and I wouldn't turn over. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay on my stomach.
What were you worried about?
She was worried about getting COVID. I don't know what she...
But I'm
she
just
thought
saying,
in the
if I had a hard-on boner that I had to deal with, you
is,
could also stay down. That's the best
but
part of the massage.
Now that's
I don't like this turnaround part.
You don't like that
rub
part.
on your legs for a while.
That's a liberal bubble COVID prevention plan right there. When my massage therapist comes to the house, I will stay face down, because the droplets, they'll go down.
It's true.
Okay, I'm trying to think what you're saying. Well, I guess with the guy, it's a little...
I only do down, and I never turn around, because when I turn around, the light's in my eyes, and they're
Well, it
just
should be
like...
dark in there. Where are you getting a massage?
In here.
Ralph's?
No, right here, in
she
front of
gets-
these lights. Ralph's.
Oh, wow. So, because for a guy, when you turn over... Well, they don't... You know what I realized? I'm going to tell you this, because I think you'll appreciate it. I'll make it quick, I promise.
Oh.
Have you ever seen on like Instagram or TikTok, when you go to Russian barbershops, the massage they do where they're like doing this to your head?
No, that sounds nice.
It pales.
I want
It
that.
makes American massages. I mean, they get into it, and they're rubbing their ear for like
Give me that.
10 minutes an ear.
Why don't
Where
they
do you
do
get
that here?
that?
It's a
Other
thing in
countries.
other countries.
Yeah.
And it doesn't...
They
it's-
rub your ears? I want my
Yes.
earlobes
Yes,
rubbed.
yes. And they sit there and they rub them for like 10 minutes an earlobe, and you can tell they're into it with
that
up and
sounds so
down and
good.
up and down. And then they go on the
Oh
other
my God,
earlobe.
yes.
And then they take this thing on your forehead and your inner eye and they press there.
Oh,
and
yes,
then they
yes.
mush your face. They mush it.
Give it
And
to
I'm
me.
like, oh, that massage to me pales comparison to the American massage. The American massage, I know there's massage therapists that are amazing, and we're not really talking about that. But by the time I feel in an American massage, maybe I'm calling it American massage, and that's the wrong thing to call it, but a traditional massage where we go, by the time they get to the part that makes you go, oh my fucking God, it's over.
Uh-huh.
I don't want you to go to my head and start doing that when there's 30 seconds to go. Maybe that takes more energy. Is that what it is?
It's...
Make any sense when I'm...
This is really
It sounds
specific,
amazing.
Todd, and I don't know if this is compelling listening, but I will say, my entire massage life, I have asked the person, I say, I really want you to go for a long time on my head and scalp.
And they
never do. And I have started to think perhaps it's really difficult for their fingers, because there's not a lot of give up there or something.
Yeah, they put their elbows into your cheeks.
My whole life I've been trying to come up with the courage to say, will you rub my head for 20 minutes? I want my head for 20 minutes, but I've never been able to do it.
God, you know what?
God bless me.
This is so
yeah,
relatable,
I was going to
Moshe.
say that because I know it's hard even to say in a massage anything. It's
I know.
very uncomfortable. But maybe they
I
should have
say
it
I
on a
came a
list
little
of
bit.
things.
That's easy.
But yes, you're thinking, how can I say it? But to me, and I think we'd both agree, the more interesting thing is now, why
Why aren't they doing it?
Why aren't they doing
What's
it?
going on over there?
What's
I think they're in
going on?
autopilot. They're just like,
But forget
sure,
even the
yeah.
best of the
don't
best
do your
don't
legs,
do that.
okay, and then they just do them.
I have okay, here's my invention for massage. I have an invention that I've thought of. Okay, you're the client, and you have a button, right, while you're getting massaged, and you press the button when it's like real good. And then it's like
I always try to tell them.
It's like a
as
do
soon as
more
they
of that.
start my feet, what I want them to do, I go, "Oh, that feels so good. Thank you, that's really good." And then they get excited.
And you're comfortable to say that?
Yeah.
The button idea.
Yeah.
Moshe, I'm
like it?
not way off.
You
I
guys,
thought
this is
about
not. You can't have a button, okay?
The button, and it's just do more of that.
Get your
It's-
massage button.
one button that says do more of
Yeah,
that.
just do
You
more.
might not be comfortable to say that. Boy, that really feels good when you rub on my earlobes.
Do more.
Do
I got
more
more
of that.
buttons. I got more buttons inventions. Every car, you got 3 lights in the back. 3 buttons. One is, hey, I didn't like that. One is, hey, thank you for that. And one is, hey, sorry, I fucked that up. Just 3 buttons.
In
On
the
your
car?
Yeah, in the car. It's like a light, a light.
Oh, you're two
it's
other
like,
people.
hey, that wasn't cool. Hey,
If
thank
someone
you.
cuts in front of you,
That's, hey, that wasn't cool.
oh my God.
And then,
this
hey,
is so stupid.
hey,
You're just gonna get in a fight.
hey, no, most of the time not. Hey, thank you. I love you
Hey,
for
that wasn't cool. Bing, 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 bing. I mean, Moshe, what fantasy is this?
Moshe, I'll make this so quick. I have an invention called poop blinkers.
Okay.
And you put them on if you have to poop, and I think it could
Oh, people
unite
get
the
out of your
world.
way.
People are like, honey, that guy's got his poop blinkers on.
Go,
Go. But anyway.
Okay, well, listen, you
But-
guys
No, but then
can
you get
riff
into
all day long.
you get into a situation where somebody drives by with his poop blinkers on. You go,
That
that
guy's
guy
not
doesn't
poop
have this
blinkers.
shit. He doesn't.
Well, I
he
thought
doesn't
this
look like
through.
it.
That you know how dogs can smell coke and different. They can smell poop. The cop follows you to your house. The dog
Okay.
goes in the house. If he comes out barking, there's no poop smell.
And then you get arrested.
Then
you
you
go
get
to prison.
arrested,
Oh,
you
that
go
makes
to
sense.
prison.
Okay, you've thought of it all.
I
That's
thought
good.
of
Okay,
everything.
Good. Go to toddglass.com and find a way to give to this unbelievable event, the event of a lifetime. See Todd live.
Todd, we
You're
love
the
you.
best. We love you.
Same. Good. So much fun.